Imagine this. You just made the mistake that ended everything. Your coffee hits the floor. The mug doesn't just break, the world does. Colors fracture. Faces you love start to pixelate and dissolve like old film burning in the projector. And then, nothing. No warning, no second chance, just a quiet reset. Your entire life erased. Because in this world, reality has a limit, and you just ran out. Welcome to a world where one mistake too many and everything you are simply stops existing. This is AlterFlekt, where we step beyond the veil of the ordinary into worlds that whisper secrets that daylight refuses to reveal. Today, we descend into a reality that feels dangerously familiar, a world that looks exactly like yours until the moment it doesn't. Here, reality keeps a silent tally. Every small failure, every regretted word, every decision you wish you could take back, they all add up. And when that invisible limit is finally crossed, the world simply presses reset. No drama, no apocalypse, just erasure. Your job, your relationships, your memories, gone. Replaced by a cleaner version of you who never made that last mistake. Most people never notice the resets. They wake up feeling strangely lighter, as if a burden they can't name has been lifted. But you're starting to see the glitches now, aren't you? That déjà vu that feels too sharp, that conversation that ended differently yesterday, that face in the mirror that seems just a little too perfect. Stay with me, because once you understand how this world truly counts your mistakes, you'll never scroll through your own life the same way again. Some viewers will pause right here and start counting theirs. The rest of you, keep watching. The real nightmare is only beginning. In this world, mistakes are not forgiven. They are counted. There is no cosmic judge, no dramatic thunder, only an invisible counter that ticks with every imperfection. A harsh word to your partner, a deadline you quietly miss, the lie you told yourself was harmless. Each one leaves a mark. Most people live their entire lives never knowing the number hovering above their head. The warning signs are subtle at first. A sudden wave of exhaustion with no reason. Déjà vu that feels heavier than usual. Objects in your home slightly out of place, as if someone tried to put your life back together while you slept. Then the glitches begin. A conversation repeats itself word for word. A stranger on the street looks at you with recognition, then confusion. And finally, the last mistake. The one that pushes the counter into the red. When that final mistake lands, reality does not punish you, it simply deletes you. Not with pain, not with fire, with silence. Your body remains, but the version of you that failed is erased, replaced by a cleaner slate, the person you could have been if you had never made that last error. Your memories? Gone. Your relationships? Rewritten. Your failures? Never happened. The world continues, smoother, more perfect, without you. Imagine waking up one morning and everyone around you is happier. They smile more. They say you seem different lately in the best possible way, because the version of you they now know never disappointed them. And the real you? You're just another ghost in the reset. But here is what truly haunts those who start to notice. The resets are happening more frequently now, to more people. And the limit? It seems to be getting lower. Keep watching, because the next part will make you wonder how many mistakes you have already survived and how few you might have left. Once you begin to see the pattern, this world stops feeling like home. It becomes a silent game where everyone is playing and no one knows the rules until it's too late. Let me show you what life really looks like here. Take Marcus, a mid-level manager who prided himself on control. He missed one too many deadlines. Not big ones, just the small, quiet failures that piled up like unnoticed dust. One ordinary Tuesday, he snapped at his assistant over a misplaced report. That was the final mistake. The next morning, Marcus woke up in the same bed, but his promotion had already happened 6 months earlier. His assistant now called him Sir with genuine warmth. His coworkers celebrated a version of him that never lost his temper. Marcus felt lighter, but something inside him knew he had been erased. He just couldn't prove it. Then there's Elena. She believed love could survive anything, until it couldn't. She and her partner had the same argument for the third time that month. One careless sentence slipped out. Maybe we were never meant to be. That night, reality reset. The next day, her partner greeted her with flowers and the words, "I've never been happier with anyone." Their fights, gone. Their history, rewritten into something softer, safer. Elena smiled through it all. But every time she looked at him, she felt the absence of the version of herself that once fought for them. She was mourning a relationship that technically never ended. And then there are the ones like young Daniel, a university student who kept failing the same exam. After the fourth reset, he started noticing the changes. His childhood photos now showed a boy who never broke his arm climbing that tree. His mother spoke of memories he was certain had never happened. Daniel began keeping a secret journal. Every night he wrote down details only the old him would remember, until one morning the journal was gone, replaced by a pristine notebook filled with perfect lecture notes from a student who never needed second chances. These are not dramatic tragedies. They're quiet erasures. The kind that leave you smiling on the outside while something essential inside you slowly disappears. In this world, perfection isn't a choice, it's survival. And the terrifying part? The more resets you survive, the less of the original you remains. Stay with me, because what this does to the human mind is far darker than any single reset. The resets don't just steal your failures, they steal pieces of who you are. At first, it feels like relief, a cleaner slate, a lighter burden. But soon, the cracks begin to show. You start chasing perfection with a desperation you can't explain. Every word is measured, every decision overthought. Because deep down, something inside you remembers that the price of one more mistake is disappearance. Therapy in this world is almost pointless. Why unpack your trauma when tomorrow's reset might erase it anyway? People become polished surfaces, beautiful, functional, but strangely hollow. You smile more. You argue less. You become the version everyone else prefers, until one day you look in the mirror and realize you no longer recognize the eyes staring back. Relationships turn into performances. Love becomes a tightrope walk. One wrong step, and the person who loved the flawed you might wake up loving someone else entirely. Friendships fade into polite distance, because who wants to risk being erased from someone else's life? And the loneliest part? You can never truly tell anyone, because admitting you notice the resets is often the mistake that triggers the next one. This is the true horror of this world. Not the sudden erasure, but the slow, invisible erosion of the self. You become a ghost, haunting your own life, watching a better version of you live the days you lost. And the question that keeps you awake at night is simple, yet devastating. If every mistake removes a piece of the real you, how much of you is already gone? Here is the darkest truth. No one in this world dares to speak aloud. The resets are not random. They are not merciful. They are learning. Every time reality erases a flawed version of you, it studies what remains. It refines the counter. It lowers the threshold. Until the limit is no longer about how many mistakes you make, but whether you are still capable of making any at all. Imagine a world where the only way to survive is to become flawless. Not good, not better, but flawless. A single hesitant pause before answering a question. A fleeting moment of doubt. A quiet, private thought you never even voice. Any of them could be the last mistake. And when the final reset comes, there will be no you left to mourn. Only the perfect shell that replaced you, smiling, efficient, and utterly empty. So the next time you spill your coffee, or say the wrong thing, or simply hesitate for half a second too long, ask yourself, how much of the real you is already gone. In this world, perfection is not a virtue. It is the only currency that keeps you alive. We chase flawless days, flawless words, flawless selves. Not because we want to be better, but because we are terrified of disappearing. And perhaps the most unsettling truth is this. Some part of you already wonders how many mistakes you have left before your own reset. So tell me, how many small failures have you survived today? How many times have you caught yourself hesitating and wondered if the world around you just flickered for a moment? If this world felt a little too familiar, pause the video right now and re-watch the beginning. You'll notice the glitches you missed the first time. Because in this reality, the reset might already be counting. If you crave more journeys into worlds that bend the mind and linger in the soul, subscribe to AlterFlekt. Next time, we step into another reality where the ordinary quietly breaks, and something far darker waits on the other side. Until then, be careful with your next mistake. The screen fades to black, but something in you might already be counting.